Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Have you ever observed the peculiar habits and mannerisms that some individuals who have suffered from narcissistic abuse exhibit? Let's delve deeper into the lives of these victims to understand how such abuse leaves its mark not only on their emotional well-being, but also on their daily routines. The scars left by narcissistic abuse are not always visible, but are often reflected in the way these individuals navigate their lives. What might initially seem like unusual or eccentric behaviors are actually deeply rooted in their experiences of abuse. Here, we'll explore 10 peculiar habits commonly found in those who have endured narcissistic abuse, shedding light on the underlying stories behind these behaviors. Narcissistic abuse victims frequently second-guess what others say. Individuals who have been subjected to narcissistic abuse often develop a habit of second-guessing the intentions behind what others say. For example, when a partner offers a kind or affectionate comment, instead of accepting it at face value, the victim might wonder whether the statement is sincere or if it's a form of manipulation. This habit is a defensive mechanism that forms from a history of being manipulated, deceived, or criticized. Psychologists explain that this skepticism is a protective response, honed by past experiences of betrayal and deceit. Victims become hyper-aware of potential manipulation in even the simplest interactions, making it difficult for them to trust others without questioning their motives. This constant scrutiny reflects their ongoing struggle to navigate relationships and validate the authenticity of others' words. When individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse attend social gatherings, they might present a poker face, a blank expression that hides their true feelings. This behavior is akin to wearing a mask to conceal their emotional state. This tendency arises from a history of emotional manipulation and criticism, where revealing their true emotions might have led to further abuse or rejection. Psychologists suggest that this behavior serves as a survival mechanism, a way for victims to shield their emotions and avoid vulnerability. It's a learned response aimed at protecting themselves from potential harm and maintaining a semblance of emotional control, even in seemingly supportive social environments. Excessive cleaning can become a coping mechanism for individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse. This behavior often emerges as a way to manage the chaos and lack of control they felt during the abusive relationship. When someone is consistently criticized and controlled by a narcissist, they may turn to cleaning as a way to restore a sense of order and stability. For instance, a person who has endured constant criticism might find solace in scrubbing every corner of their home or meticulously organizing their belongings. This excessive focus on cleanliness is not merely about maintaining a tidy space, but is also a way to regain control and create a structured environment that contrasts with the chaos they experienced during the abuse. Narcissistic abuse victims frequently double-check locked doors. Another common behavior among victims of narcissistic abuse is the frequent double-checking of locked doors at home. This habit serves as a security measure, providing a sense of reassurance and control. The need to double-check locks often stems from trauma related to feeling unsafe or invaded during the abusive relationship. Psychologists indicate that this behavior is a mental strategy to alleviate anxiety and restore a sense of control. For victims, checking the locks repeatedly can serve as a ritual that helps calm their mind and provide a feeling of safety. Experts often work with these individuals to develop healthier methods for establishing security and managing anxiety without relying solely on such rituals. Narcissistic abuse victims may prefer to eat or travel alone. After enduring narcissistic abuse, individuals might find comfort in engaging in activities like eating out or traveling alone. This preference reflects their desire to reclaim independence and enjoy solitude without external interference. Psychologists explain that this behavior is often a response to having their choices and preferences controlled or criticized by a narcissist. For example, if someone's dining choices were constantly judged or manipulated, they might now relish the freedom of making their own decisions about where to eat or travel. This newfound autonomy allows them to rediscover their preferences and experience a sense of independence, marking a significant shift from their previous experiences of control and criticism. Narcissistic abuse. Victims may stutter when sharing their life stories. When victims of narcissistic abuse attempt to share their personal experiences, they might struggle with stuttering or difficulty articulating their thoughts. This stuttering is often a psychological response to the emotional weight and complexity of their experiences. Experts suggest that this reaction is a defense mechanism, allowing the brain to process and manage overwhelming emotions. For instance, while narrating their story, they might find their words getting stuck or their sentences faltering. This hesitation reflects their internal struggle to sort through painful memories and articulate their experiences, highlighting the emotional turmoil that accompanies their attempts to share their story. Narcissistic abuse victims may excessively apologize. An overuse of apologies is a common trait among individuals who have suffered narcissistic abuse. They might apologize for minor infractions or even situations where they are not at fault. This behavior often stems from being consistently blamed and criticized by their abuser. For instance, if someone accidentally steps on their foot, the victim might be the first to say, "Sorry." This constant apologizing is a residue of the ingrained pattern of blame and criticism they endured. Psychologists explain that this behavior is a result of the deep-seated fear of making mistakes and facing repercussions, a pattern that therapy can help address. By learning to set appropriate boundaries and recognize their value, victims can begin to break free from this automatic response. Narcissistic abuse victims might avoid eye contact during conversations. Avoiding eye contact during conversations can be a notable habit for individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse. This tendency often arises from a history of being criticized or invalidated, making direct eye contact feel like a potential source of further harm. Psychologists believe that this avoidance acts as a protective measure, shielding them from the risk of additional criticism. For these individuals, making eye contact might be perceived as an invitation for more emotional pain. This behavior is a coping mechanism that persists even in safe interactions, reflecting their ongoing struggle with trust and fear of judgment. Narcissistic abuse victims may hyperventilate when making a point. When individuals who have been abused by narcissists attempt to assert their opinions or make a point, they might experience hyperventilation or difficulty catching their breath. This physical response often stems from the anxiety and stress associated with being dismissed or invalidated by their abuser. Psychologists suggest that this hyperventilation is linked to the fear of not being heard or valued. For example, during a presentation or discussion, a victim might become visibly jittery and breathless, reflecting their heightened stress levels. This behavior underscores the ongoing impact of their past experiences on their ability to communicate effectively and assert their viewpoints. Narcissistic abuse victims might brush off compliments. Receiving compliments can be particularly challenging for those who have suffered narcissistic abuse. They might respond to praise with self-deprecating comments or quickly dismiss the compliment. Clinical psychologist Dr. Romani Durvasula explains that narcissistic abuse can lead victims to feel unworthy of positive feedback. For instance, when someone compliments their appearance or achievements, the victim might downplay the praise or deflect it. This reaction stems from a deep-seated belief of inadequacy, shaped by their abusive experiences. The inability to accept compliments reflects their internalized sense of unworthiness and the lingering effects of the abuse on their self-esteem. Understanding these peculiar habits provides valuable insight into the lasting impact of narcissistic abuse. From excessive apologizing to difficulties with accepting compliments, these behaviors often result from a history of manipulation and emotional trauma. Recognizing these patterns is an important step towards healing and reclaiming one's sense of self. If you identify with these habits, it is crucial to seek professional help and surround yourself with a supportive community. Healing from narcissistic abuse is a gradual process, and addressing these behaviors can facilitate recovery and growth. As you continue on your journey of healing, understanding these behaviors can offer clarity and help you navigate the challenges of recovery. By acknowledging the impact of narcissistic abuse on your habits and seeking support, you can work towards rebuilding your sense of self-worth and fostering healthier relationships. Embracing self-care and professional guidance can make a significant difference in your path to recovery. Remember, the journey to healing is personal and unique, and recognizing these habits is a step towards reclaiming your autonomy and well-being. Thank you for watching this video. If you found the information valuable, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Let's continue to support one another on this journey of healing and empowerment. Feel free to leave any comments or questions below. The best way to overcome the impacts of narcissistic abuse is to embrace your strength, focus on your recovery, and strive for a fulfilling and happy life. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and stay empowered.